In the shadow of a great beast's fury, a simple flower can cost a man his life. When a kindly merchant plucks a single rose from an enchanted garden, he ignites a chain of events that will lead his most beloved daughter into a world of magic, loneliness, and a love powerful enough to break an ancient curse. This is the story of Beauty, a girl whose courage was as remarkable as her name, and the prince who was trapped within a monster's form. A wealthy merchant lived in a bustling port city by the sea. He was father to 6 children, 3 sons and 3 daughters. His youngest daughter, named Beauty for her lovely face, was as good-natured as she was pretty. Her sisters, Rosalind and Hortensia, were a different story. They were known for their laziness and unpleasant attitudes, spending their days seeking entertainment and wealthy husbands. Their jealousy toward Beauty was intense, for her grace and kindness made their own flaws more apparent. Beauty, with her flowing red hair, was a gentle soul who found joy in reading by the fire and playing melodies on the piano. Fate turned cruel when the merchant learned his ship had sunk, taking his fortune with it. "My dear children," he announced, his voice heavy with sorrow, "our wealth is gone. We must leave this city house and start a new, simpler life in the countryside." His words were met with despair. The 2 elder sisters wailed in protest, while the brothers worried about the hard work ahead. Only Beauty remained calm. "There's no use in crying," she said softly. "We can find happiness in hard work and in each other, even without riches." Their new life was humble. Beauty rose before dawn each day to scrub the floors and prepare meals. She would then carry their laundry to the nearby stream. Her brothers toiled in the fields, while Rosalind and Hortensia did nothing but complain, sleeping late and taking pointless walks, bemoaning their lost luxuries. Their father often said to Beauty, "Your hard work and cheerful spirit are a gift to this family." One day, a letter arrived with astonishing news. Their ship had been found. It was safe in the harbor. The merchant prepared to leave at once. "Bring me back the finest silks and jewels," demanded Hortensia. "And new shoes for me," added Rosalind. The merchant then turned to Beauty. "And what shall I bring for you, my dear?" "Just a single rose, father," she replied. "Your safe return is the only gift I need." At the port, the merchant's hope crumbled. The ship was indeed there, but it was completely empty. Dejected, he began the long journey home. A sudden snowstorm trapped him in a vast, unfamiliar forest. Lost and freezing, he spotted lights gleaming from a massive castle. Seeking shelter, he entered the silent courtyard. The castle doors were unlocked, and inside he found a grand hall with a crackling fire and a table laden with food. Though no servants were visible, he warmed himself, ate gratefully, and found a comfortable bed to sleep in. The next morning, fresh clothes awaited him. He looked out the window to see the storm had cleared, revealing a stunning garden. After another magical breakfast, he prepared to leave. Passing through the garden, he remembered his promise and carefully plucked a beautiful rose for Beauty. In an instant, a terrifying roar shattered the silence. A monstrous creature, covered in fur and bearing sharp fangs, loomed before him. "Ungrateful wretch," the beast bellowed. "I gave you shelter and food, and you steal my most prized flowers. For this theft, you will pay with your life." Trembling, the merchant fell to his knees. "Forgive me, my lord. The rose was a gift for my daughter. I meant no harm." "I am no lord," the creature snarled. "I am the beast. Your daughter, you say? Then she may take your place. Send one of your children to die for you, or you must return here in 3 months to face your fate." The merchant, thinking only of saving his children, agreed to the beast's terms. Before he left, the beast spoke again, his voice less harsh. "In the room where you slept, you will find a chest. Fill it with whatever you wish. It is my gift." The merchant found the chest and filled it with gold. When he arrived home, he handed Beauty the rose with a heavy heart and recounted his terrifying tale. Rosalind and Hortensia immediately turned on Beauty. "This is all your fault. If you hadn't asked for that stupid flower, Father would be safe." "Stop," Beauty said firmly. "Father will not die. I will go to the castle in his place." Her brothers protested, wanting to fight the monster, but Beauty was resolute. "He is powerful, and I will not risk your lives. I love Father, and I choose to do this." With a heavy heart, her father agreed. The next morning, Beauty awoke not in her own bed, but in a magnificent sunlit room within the beast's castle. Exquisite clothes hung in the wardrobe, and a piano stood by the window. She spent the day exploring the wondrous library and the vast gardens filled with roses of every hue. That evening, as she dined, she heard the heavy footsteps of the beast. Her heart pounded. "Beauty," he rumbled, "may I join you?" "This is your home," she replied quietly. "May I ask you something?" he ventured. "Do you find me very ugly?" Beauty hesitated, then answered honestly, "Yes, you are, but your actions have been nothing but kind." The beast seemed pleased by her honesty. "You are brave to speak the truth. This is your home now. Please, be happy here." As they talked, Beauty's fear dissolved. When he asked, "Beauty, will you marry me?" she was startled and replied, "No, beast, I cannot." He sighed deeply and left without another word. Weeks turned into months. Each day, Beauty explored the castle and gardens. Each evening, she dined with the beast, and they shared stories and laughter. He was intelligent, gentle, and deeply caring. Every night, he would ask the same question, and every night she would gently refuse, though her heart grew fonder of him. One evening, she saw in her magic mirror a vision of her father, sick and lonely. "Beast," she pleaded, "my father is ill. I must go to him. Please let me visit. I promise to return in a week." The beast's face fell. "I cannot bear to be without you," he said sadly, "but you must go. Remember your promise. When you are ready to return, place this ring on your bedside table, and it will bring you back to me." He gave her a beautiful golden ring. The next morning, Beauty awoke in her father's house. Their reunion was joyful, and her father's health improved rapidly. Rosalind and Hortensia, now married to miserable husbands, visited and were consumed with envy when they heard of Beauty's luxurious life. They pretended to be loving sisters, begging her to stay longer. "Just one more week, we miss you so," they cried. Beauty, believing their false affection, agreed to stay. But on the 10th night, she had a terrible dream. The beast lay dying in the garden, whispering her name. "I can't live without you," he seemed to say. Racked with guilt and a sudden, overwhelming realization of her love, she cried out, "I love him! I can't let him die!" She placed the ring on the table and immediately fell into a deep sleep. She woke in the castle garden. It was dark and silent. Frantic, she searched until she found the beast, lying motionless on the grass. "Beast," she sobbed, cradling his head, "please don't leave me. I love you. I was so wrong. Please, live and be my husband." As her tears fell on his face, a brilliant light filled the garden. Fireworks exploded in the sky, and the castle blazed with light. Before her, the beast's form began to shift and change. In his place lay a stunningly handsome young man. "Beauty," he said, taking her hand, "your love has broken the spell. A wicked fairy cursed me to remain a beast until I found someone who could truly love me for who I was, despite my terrifying appearance." Suddenly, her family was there, brought by the magic. A beautiful fairy appeared and smiled at Beauty. "Your pure heart has saved the prince." She then turned to Rosalind and Hortensia. "But you two are different. Your hearts are as cold and hard as stone." With a wave of her hand, she turned them into stone statues. "You will remain this way, able to see and hear, until you learn the error of your selfish ways." The very next day, Beauty and the prince were married in the castle's grand hall. It was a day of immense joy, filled with music, dancing, and laughter. As the prince saw a tear of happiness in Beauty's eye, he held her close and whispered, "This is just the beginning of our happily ever after."
Key expressions and simple explanations. 1. We can work and be happy without money. This shows Beauty's strong character. Unlike her sisters who love money, she believes happiness comes from being kind and working hard. 2. Just bring me a rose. Beauty asks for something simple, unlike her sisters who want expensive gifts. This small wish starts the whole adventure and shows her unselfish nature. 3. For this you must die. The beast's angry rule creates the main problem of the story. Someone must pay for the stolen rose with their life. 4. I'm going to the beast's castle. This is Beauty's most courageous decision. She chooses to give up her freedom and risk her life to save her father. 5. You're a brave girl. These are the first kind words the beast says to her. They start to build a friendship based on respect, not fear.
6. Am I very ugly? But you're kind and polite. This honest talk is a key moment. Beauty admits he is ugly, but she values his kindness, which is the main idea of the story. 7. Beauty, do you want to marry me? The beast keeps asking this because he hopes for true love. Beauty's no at first shows she can't yet see past his looks. 8. It's a magic ring. This magical object is very important. It lets Beauty travel and shows her promise to return to the beast. 9. I love you, and I can't live without you. Beauty says this when she thinks the beast is dying. This honest declaration of love is what finally breaks the evil spell. 10. Your sisters have got hearts of stone. The fairy uses these words to explain the sisters' punishment. Because they are cruel and jealous on the inside, they are turned to stone on the outside.